Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live and garden here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today's project is spring cleanup of this hot mess of a front corner garden. I got my husband here to help me, I got my tools, I got everything ready to go. So let's get to it and make quick work of this job. I bought my sunglasses on. I hope that's all right with you. It's pretty bright out here and I don't have my hats out yet. This bed is on a very steep slope from the sidewalk up to the top of the hill. It's approximately 6 feet difference, and it's a pretty steep hill here on the corner. It's at the main intersection of one of the main streets in our neighborhood, and it gets a lot of traffic. It gets a lot of passersby on foot, lots of dog walkers, joggers, all of that. And we do like to have this as an ornamental garden that folks in our neighborhood can enjoy out on their strolls. So I like to put in things here that have a nice scent to them or that are brightly colored. Easy care is what I'm going for here. I have not achieved that. Unfortunately, I've put some stuff in here that requires more care than I have been giving it lately. So today's task is mainly to get out the stuff that is left over from last year, and maybe pull back and divide some of the things that have outgrown their space, and then probably stop at that point. And then this garden will be something that I hope to pay more attention to as this coming season progresses. So really, this is going to be a video all about just cleaning up old material from last year and dividing out things. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, let's start in this area. This is a blue mist shrub, also known as Caryopteris, I believe. And it's kind of weirdly shaped. You can see it is leaning way forward in the bed. I don't know what I'm going to do with that right now, but I'm going to just give it a nice little trim to prune it back off the grass for a little bit. And then here I've got a stand of Zagreb Coreopsis that needs to be cared for. I've got gladiolus leaves back here. This is Walker's Low Nepeta. These are daisies. This is an old dahlia. There are some daylilies, and who knows what else we'll find once we start working in here. Dave is going to go up and start working on whatever he can see and start working on weeds, I think. Careful of those roses, they're very pokey. When it comes to garden care, we have a pretty clearly defined division of effort. Dave does weeding and he takes care of the lawn, and he does heavy work like digging holes or moving things like that. And I'm in charge of knowing what to prune, how far to prune it, when to prune it, things like that. And I also do all the selections of plantings, and I choose the placements of plantings. So here I am cutting back the Walker's Low Nepeta plants. I think there's quite a few of them in here, but that's a job that Dave doesn't like to do, because I think once in a while he gets a little bit confused about what should be cut and what shouldn't, and he'd just rather leave it to me so that he doesn't make any mistakes. This Walker's Low Nepeta is a great plant. I love it. I love the soft gray-green foliage of it. I love the purple spikes of it, but it does make quite a mess. Last year I ignored this bed for way too long, and if I had done a better job of cutting it back after its first bloom, it probably would have given me a second flush of blooms later in the summer, but I didn't do that, and so I'm just here cutting away the main growth that it put on in the spring, and it just struggled through the rest of the season. Now up in this area, there's a lot of leaves that have been blown under there, but I'm cutting away gladiolus foliage. I have, I think they're called plum tart gladiolus that grow in here. Now in my zone, it is warm enough. I can leave the glads in the ground over the winter, and they'll come back really nicely. In fact, they multiply. It's really nice to have that option here. So I'm just cleaning up the gladiolus foliage, and then back in there also, there's some Shasta Daisy Beckies. That's what I'm working on right here. And there's also some Coreopsis, I think the Zagreb variety, and just a bunch of, dried leaves and other materials that had blown in there over the course of the summer. I don't always enjoy working in this garden, but today on this particular job chore, I am enjoying it because it goes from this horrific mess to something very much tidier. It's just really satisfying to get all that debris out of there. All right, well, that's one bag full already out, and about, I don't know, a dozen more to go. Do you guys get cramps in your feet when you stand on the sides of hills? I sure do. That's, I think, one of the main reasons I don't like to garden in this garden is because it's on the side of a hill and it makes my feet cramp. So, yeah, gotta take breaks now and again for that reason. Well, that's it. It actually didn't take very long with two of us working on it. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was, and that's all I need for today. Thanks for joining me today. Do you have garden cleanup chores that you've been putting off, and when you get out there and you do it, it actually isn't as bad as you were worried about? That's what this was for me today. I hope that your garden cleanup for the springtime is coming along really well, and I hope you'll come back and join us again in another video real soon. Say bye, Dave.